back to Monday Night Quarterback, a live call-in sports show. I'm Anthony Gianelli.
I'm Josh Minnehan.
And I'm Xander Monson, according to Anthony Gianelli.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I knew that was going to come back and bite me. I knew it was going to come back and bite me. It has been a crazy week filled with sports and all that kind of stuff. But let's introduce the first segment. So the NFL is officially back, and it has been, what a week. Obviously, we still have the Monday night game that happens tonight with the Bears and the Vikings, but Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, they were just so good. What do you guys got first?
Already off to a very hot start. You got the Chargers and the Chiefs starting in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, it was really good. The downside of some things when it comes to that is, you lose your number one wide receiver to suspension before the game even starts, and then also you lose what is now your number one wide receiver to a friendly fire within the first 3 plays of the game. And I'm sure, again, Travis Kelce feels horrible, but if you are a Chiefs fan, good news on that. I'm sure you're watching, but it doesn't seem to be anything major. They've even have him listed as day by day at this point, Xavier Worthy. And it was a disappointment if you are a Chiefs fan. I know I talked to Mike before we got started, and it was just kind of the lackluster from him. You know, there was no excitement, there was no urgency in any of the plays, and it just kind of seemed, other than Mahomes doing another one of his Superman throws.
Yeah,
and this one connecting. So it's good to see Mahomes acting like old Mahomes. But again, hats off to the Chargers because they looked like a solid full team, both offense and defense. It didn't look like there was a piece missing at all. I honestly thought my score was pretty close. It was just reversed.
Yeah.
But my score also was with Xavier Worthy in the game the whole time.
Yeah.
But I had it listed as 26-23.
Okay.
I thought they were going to be tough enough to make the Chiefs have to kick some field goals here and there. But all in all, it really came down to the Chiefs shooting themselves in the foot multiple times. But I'm still happy.
Yeah.
The one I would bring up, honestly, for me was the game before that, the Thursday night game with the Eagles and the Cowboys. Everybody thought Cowboys were going to get destroyed by the reigning champs, and other than the loss of a defensive player, which also Jerry Jones adamantly stated, Micah Parsons, the Cowboys looked amazing.
Yeah.
And CD did drop some passes, clutch passes, but everybody drops a pass here and there, and they'll keep it within a field goal. I thought that was a really good game by Dak Prescott and the rest of his team.
And I will say that it does help when the Eagles' star defensive lineman, Jalen Carter, gets ejected before the first snap of the season.
You look at it that way, you got one side of the ball with the Eagles and one side of the ball with the Chiefs, and it literally, that's how close it was that it came down to a field goal. That's how much that Jalen Hurts and his Eagles squeaked by on a game that was supposed to be a blowout.
Yeah.
So
that's just what I just like to say. Football's bad.
That's where I was at too. No, and then if you want to move on from that, we had great Sunday games as well.
Oh, many great Sunday games.
For me, unexpected shootout between the Jets and the Steelers.
Yes,
hands down. And from me, it's the fact that Aaron Rodgers looked like his prime self.
He did. He looked accurate. He looked not bothered. He was able to actually move in the pocket. You watched him roll left, roll right. And that was something that you missed a lot of with his time on the Jets was his movement.
Yeah.
He doesn't have great. He's not going to run for you, but he can avoid a tackle. And it just seemed like his 1 year on the Jets just seemed like, he just stood there like deer in headlights. But to go up against his former team, and the same with Justin Fields going up against his former team, I thought both of them, great game. Neither one of them threw a pick.
Nope.
4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers, 1 for Justin Fields, plus 2 on the ground for him.
Yep.
Both of them, I think, 30 points separated him in yardage for passing. But then also at the same time, Justin Fields had 45 on his feet. I think both teams have a lot to cheer. Even though Jets didn't win, there's nothing to look down on in that game.
Yeah.
That was a great game. They got a lot to build on, and it's going to be an amazing season, especially for the AFC, I think. And I say the NFC too, because again, we saw that with the Cowboys and the Eagles. But you move throughout the day, and it was a lot of really good games. It was a tight game for your Texans. I know you were kind of in the same boat as me, walking away with a loss this week, not what you wanted to have, but it was a
both.
good game. I mean,
it was, and it was a closer game. Like obviously, my team just did field goals from KV Fairbairn, which hey, he looked great again. But I tell myself like Rams defense, it's like yes, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore, but they still have a proper defense, and
Yes,
I thought it was okay that it was still a close game. Now we'll see how the rest of the season goes for that, but I mean yeah. But like, there's other teams here. Like, there was other games that was actually pretty good. We got Indianapolis and Miami. Daniel Jones looked really good.
He looked very good. He showed the sparks that he showed at times with the Giants, which is what stood out to me. Because the last couple of years, when people have been flaming on him, this looked like an unrecognizable Daniel Jones.
It reminded me of the year the Giants went to the playoffs. Because he was grooving and moving in that year. I think
oh, for sure. And I mean, you can look at it. You know, it's like they never had a full team. It's like Saquon wants to say how well he's doing on the Eagles. It's like, well, you had to actually play a full season for the Giants for it to count. Like I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, also an injury-prone player, somebody you're relying on, you know, as a seasoned player, and he's just not there. So that affects the team and Daniel's play. But like I was saying earlier when we were all talking, when you talk about this amazing show-off by Daniel Jones, I have seen it before, like you guys have. And then I've also seen 4 interceptions in a game with a total of 90 passing yards. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it just comes down to that composure. And I mean, I'm not quite ready to get into the final game of Sunday night yet, so we won't bring up composure just yet. But that's one of those things that I worry about with Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones finds himself 2 interceptions deep and 7 points down, can Daniel Jones rally a team and bring it back?
Yeah.
That's what makes an elite quarterback.
No,
being able to do that. And that was again why I was kind of hitting on that Jets Steelers is you had a proven veteran who's proven that he can be solid under pressure with Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Fields actually finally getting a chance to show he can do it as well. So those are the ones I'm looking at. So yes, it was a good showing by Danny Dimes, but it wasn't a battle. He didn't get into a battle with another quarterback or a defense or something like that to make him show what he can do under pressure. So I'm going to hold off on the Danny Dimes train. I'm not going to punch my ticket just yet. Yeah. But he did look great. Let's
talk about that Sunday night game real quick.
Let's do it.
I was just going to say, speaking of an absolute show, Bills versus Ravens, I'm saying it right now, early contender for game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. Yep. No, and that's the thing. I was thinking the same thing going into after the Sunday morning game with the Steelers and Jets. I was like, man, that was such an amazing game. But then you have a game like Sunday night, and it's like, man, I haven't seen that again since, and I'm not trying to, but since the playoffs when the Chiefs did it to the Texans.
Yeah.
Down 3 touchdowns, and you're up 4 by halftime.
I was thinking more
or up by 1.
I was thinking, well, your team still, but I was thinking more like the one primetime game back in 2018 with the Rams. Or was that 20? No.
Oh, no. Yeah, the Rams,
yeah.
The shootout all the way to the end, and Goff just got him by that oh, my God, Monday night game. That was a great game.
We need a game like that again.
But I mean, and that's pretty much what you got last night. But you got the added bonus of being down 2 scores. 2 full-on scores.
In the fourth quarter.
22 points in the fourth. Yep. And Josh Allen checks in at just under 400 yards. I mean, and it's not all Josh Allen. Keon Coleman was amazing. Yep. James Cook had a couple great plays. Yes, he was very stagnant in the first half, but the Ravens' defense was clicking. It came down to that fumble by Derrick Henry, and it was like a switch flipped on both teams. You know, defense started dropping off for Baltimore, and Buffalo started picking it up. That's what it takes, man. It takes that composure of a team being able to stand down 16 points and bring it back. So I'm with you on that.
Oh, yeah. And what a first week for the NFL. But we can't forget about college football. So week 2 of college football, we're already past 2 weeks now. And there's still upsets going on.
Yes, there are. We've got, there was a whole list of just great college football going on.
Oh, yeah.
We've got the Cy-Hawk game.
I thought maybe you 2 Husker fans would just skip over that. So
no, we couldn't skip over that great game.
You're telling me I'm a Clones fan. So
hey, collective beef with Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I'm with you guys. So the win for me at 16-13, we're 3-0 on the season. We look like we're picking right up where we left off last year. We held We held the Iowa quarterback that's supposed to be something special to less than 100 yards. Less than 100 yards.
That's impressive for Iowa State.
And 1 interception, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen how good Iowa State's been playing, like ever since the Irish Bowl with Kansas State, which, to be fair, Kansas State's not playing great this year. But then, like, you just see them dominating very well on defense. And then offense, they're just trying to do complete plays as much as they can, so that way they don't have to rely on the defense too much. At least that's how I see it.
See, the thing with me about Iowa State is going into the season, the entire question was the receiver room. Because you lose 2 NFL caliber wide receivers in Jaden Higgins and I can't remember the other one.
Yeah.
But both of them getting drafted to the Texans.
Yep.
How do you replace that, level of production? And it looks like they've been doing it.
Well, and that's the thing. Again, that goes back to the coach.
Yep.
I mean, he put together a team last year with a bunch of players that, the year before were a joke. Listen, I'm a Clones fan, and I can tell you that. But last year, what they were able to do, break records, school records left and right. That comes down to the coach and how he's working his players, especially young players like that. And I'm telling you, like I said, to hold a quarterback that's supposed to be something amazing for Iowa to 83 yards and 1 interception, that's defense.
Yeah.
That's the defense. And whether it's your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator, or the guy at the helm that's putting them both together and make it work, ISU's coaching room is on fire right now.
But yeah, Iowa State winning the Cy Hawk Trophy in back-to-back years.
Back-to-back.
And it's the first time that they've won it in Jack Trice Stadium since 2011.
Beautiful. No, and that's Tyrese Halliburton was in the house to watch that happen. I would have picked him for MVP in NBA, but let's not get into that.
You said they were on fire. You want to know who else is on fire? And I'm not talking about I'm on fire. Red hot fire, Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah. Buckeyes looking good.
You boys in trouble.
Yep.
you in trouble because a big time loss to Oregon, like a FCS school. Like they won. Oh God, I should write down the score, but it was like 70-something to. I think it was like 0.
Are you talking to Oregon, Oklahoma State?
Yep.
69-3.
Oh boy.
Oh, is that what that final score was?
Yes.
I quit paying attention.
Oh boy.
I just saw it in the stats and I was like, that's a rough one. Mm-hmm. But I will say, the upsets this week.
Okay. Yeah.
There were some upsets.
Oh.
So first, you've got Baylor versus SMU, absolute shootout at SMU, and they're ranked 17th. Coming into this game, people were saying that this was going to be a shootout, and it was.
I expected it to be.
Yes, as Baylor upsets SMU 48-45 in overtime.
Yeah.
Double overtime.
Double overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nice.
But then it gets even crazier. Mississippi State versus Arizona State.
Yes.
The reigning Big 12 champions in Arizona State going into Mississippi State, who last year went 3-9.
Oh, yeah.
And Mississippi State wins.
A completely different team from Mississippi State, mind you, but yeah, totally. It's and they stormed the field, which fine's coming out, obviously, but
You know what? For me, it's a field storm
Take
is
the
worth the
fine.
fine. Exactly.
That's like when Travis Kelce hit 100 receptions that year for Kansas City.
Yep.
Tony Gonzalez paid for him dunking that football.
Oh,
it was like a $15,000 fine, and they were like, yep, we're paying that.
We're paying for it.
If it's time to celebrate, especially a team like that, like you said, has that horrible of a record last year and knocks off a team like this year, I'm getting on the field.
Oh, yeah. But the upset of the week, USF versus Florida.
Oh, yeah.
The Bulls of the University of South Florida go into the swamp,
Yep.
and they end up with a last-second field goal to beat them.
Yep. No, I did get to see that on the highlight reel. I didn't catch that live. I was busy commentating races in Harlan, but I will be honest, that's the part that makes me enjoy college football is that stuff.
Yeah.
Is every year, other than when you got someone like Nick Saban or one of them guys at the helm, you expect that great coaching every year. But when you get to see these teams like that are just, they're not even supposed to make it happen, and kick a last-second field goal or something like that to get that win against a ranked opponent, that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because with pro, it's any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all there for a
Saturday
reason.
In this case.
Yeah. But I'm saying with pro, it's any given Sunday. Yep. You get there no matter, if you're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. You're a professional. Here, it could be one of their guys' standout games, and you never hear their name again, but they got that chance.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about college.
Clemson, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just I didn't know if we were going to get into your guys' amazing domination of Akron I
No,
mean,
yeah,
we'll wait to do that
68
later.
nothing, but yeah, that'll be saved for later.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
But going on,
Let's finish. I know the time for this segment's almost over, so I just want to say Clemson, they got real lucky against Troy.
they were a little scared.
Yes.
But they ended up pulling it out. But I will say, going into half down 16-3 at home, to a nobody kind of compared to Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Death Valley, and you have a team come in and just show up out of nowhere.
No, especially that beginning of the season too. You know, it's like you usually see a lot of that more towards the end when a bowl shot is on the line or something like that. But I'll be honest, it was a pretty big game for Clemson, and they're lucky to pull it away. So.
Well, like I said, there's already week 2 and so many upsets. But we're going to go ahead and move on to high school football. So, high school football, we're already, like college football, we're already past week 2. And, there's some pretty good games here, Millard South and Omaha West Side obviously lead in the rankings. They're both doing pretty good looking, especially the Alabama I keep forgetting his name, but the
Tamala.
Thank you.
Yep.
You have the guy who committed to Alabama, the quarterback at Millard South. He's looking pretty good.
And I saw a stat today that says Millard South is outscoring their opponents 114-7 through the first 2 weeks.
And you want to know something? I found this on a TikTok video. I know, but I found out Millard South week 1 went to Vegas.
Really?
Yes, they I can't remember the school's name they faced, but they went to go fight a school in Vegas, and they completely won, obviously.
Yeah.
It was 40-something to 0, if I remember correctly. But it was when did we have schools going out of state?
Yeah, but no, Millard South is a ball club. They basically are West Side a couple years ago.
Yep.
And they beat West Side last year in the state championship.
Yep.
And watching that game, that showed me just how many ballers they have on that squad.
Do you think we're going to see a Millard South and Omaha West Side championship battle again?
That's a good question. Well, I guess we'll have to wait to see it at the end of the season. It is high school football anyways. Now,
I want to go on to, I believe, Class B, if I remember correctly. Bennington has had a rebound against Gretna East after something their first loss in week 1, and it was their first loss since 2020, I think. I could be wrong on that.
Bennington has been an absolute powerhouse at that level because they won, I think, 3 or 4 state championships in a row.
Yep, for their
and
class.
haven't suffered a loss since then. So having them lose in the first week of the season, that's something that shows character for a school, especially when you've got underclassmen, you've got the seniors and juniors leading them. You've got so much success for so many years. How do you rebound from something that just doesn't happen to you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's definitely a good point. But I part of it that with me, I mean, you see some of those schools that dominate on a 2A level or something like that for 4 years, and it's move up.
Well, because you got Wahoo. I know I
Move
did
up.
see
Yeah.
Fremont.
Give yourself a challenge. Just quit dominant. I mean, because I know when I went to, again, I'm back from middle of Iowa, but we went to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yep.
And the next year, that's what they wanted us to do. They were like, no, you guys need to move up.
Yep, I did see Fremont was planning to join Class A. I thought I saw another school, but I can't remember what the other school was. But definitely Fremont High is going to be in the Class A now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about my school here real quick, and they're not doing so hot. Bellevue West dropped down to 25 in the ranking after suffering the losses both in Central and Elkhorn South. Fun year.
But I will say who is having a fun year, though. Norris.
Yes. They're having a pretty good fun, huh?
Yeah. After last year, their first 2 games, they started off 0-2. This year, they've completely flipped the script. They're going 2-0 against both the schools that they lost to last year.
Yeah.
So a complete turnaround for them.
Quite impressive. I'll be honest, high school level, just not in my radar.
Yeah.
So you guys are definitely more involved in this than I am. But I will say, stuff like that, like when you see a team that dominates for that many years and actually watch them lose a game, that a team like that's going to be tough for them to come back from. I mean, that's going to rock them up to the core a little bit. One of 2 ways. They're going to come back swinging or they're going to come back defeated. So that'll be an interesting one to see how that pans out this Friday for them. And
we'll see if they can at least get in the win column for this one. Now, we're going to stick with football for a little bit more, and now we're going to go ahead and switch over to Nebraska. Nebraska fans, rejoice. We're 2-0, and whoo, boy, what a game against Akron. I know Akron is not really a big-time school to play against. I know they're FBS and all that stuff. But a 68-0 game against Akron, though?
Yeah, this game showed me a lot because it even exceeded my expectations.
Yep.
I went into this game thinking we were going to score a lot, but not 68.
No.
Oh, no, definitely not. I knew we were going to win, but like that much? All right.
Yeah, I had my score prediction at 40-6 because, and Akron did have 2 field goal opportunities. First one doinked off the goalpost.
Yep.
Second one got blocked. But Nebraska's offense just completely dominated this game, along with the defense, because Akron is still scoreless through 2 weeks of college football.
Wow.
They lost last week 10-0 to Wyoming, and then come into Memorial Stadium in a night game.
Mm-hmm.
Completely contentious environment.
No, yeah. But,
No, huge game.
Yep. And then for Nebraska, the most points since 2012 they have scored. Since then they have scored 73 points against Idaho, which is an FCS school. But still, though, and it's been their first shutout since the 33-0 victory over Arizona in the 2009 Holiday Bowl.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I did see that stat. And also, I will shout out to a couple players. Dylan Raiola, he was a star.
Yeah.
360 yards and 4 touchdowns.
No interceptions.
No interceptions yet. And still the completion percentage is still up in the higher 70s. You've got Emmett Johnson, 140 yards on the ground, 3 total touchdowns. You've got redshirt freshman Quinn Clark, wide receiver, who scored his first touchdown as a Husker. That's amazing. And then you've also got Luke Lindenmeyer.
Yeah, that was what I was going to see if you guys bring that one up. Of course, everybody will.
Hey, congrats, Lindenmeyer.
Yeah, great game for him.
Congrats, man.
Was it 91 yards?
Well, not
8
only
receptions?
congrats. Yeah, but not only congrats to a game before him, he proposed, and I believe she had said yes from the website.
She did.
Yes.
Very happy ending.
She did, but the proposal means absolutely nothing about the win. The touchdown that man was able to grab out of the air, that was impressive.
That was
Fair
very
enough.
impressive.
Fair enough.
But you know who else was impressive? Jacory Barney Jr.
Yes.
He had 7 catches for 130 yards. And then backup quarterback also had a great game. He comes in halfway through the third quarter, 4-star quarterback, TJ Lateef. He goes 128 yards. And here's a funny little stat for you. TJ Lateef, through a quarter and a half of football, has more passing yards than Mark Gronowski, Iowa's quarterback,
yeah.
through 2 games.
That's bad when even the backup is passing you. Ouch.
That's not, I mean, he only had 83 against ISU. So it's not hard when you're dropping numbers like that.
He had 44 against U Albany.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
when you're barely squeaking 100 yards in 2 games.
Yeah. And the thing for me is, like, that's just got to be Iowa's ball game, because Mark Gronowski, coming from the FCS level, he's a what's the trophy? I can't remember it right now, but it's the FCS equivalent.
Yeah.
Of a Heisman.
Of a Heisman.
Yep.
Yeah. So he wins that, but he's also a national championship at that level, 10,000 career passing yards. And then you go to Iowa.
Sometimes players just don't fit into the scheme of a team.
Yeah.
You got to look at it that way. You know, it's like if you're a pass-heavy guy, I don't know how great of a quarterback you're going to work for Mike Vrabel, because Mike Vrabel is a defense-heavy man, because that's what he played.
Yep.
So when he's a head coach, you know, so I'm not saying it's on Gronowski, and I'm not saying it's on Iowa. I just think that maybe what they thought was going to be this great marriage between the two of them just isn't quite what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And speaking of high school football, in this game, 31 former Nebraska high school football players appeared in this game.
That's awesome.
You love to see that. That's the one thing that I love about, you know, kind of these gimme games is, yes, it's a high-scoring game, but also just for the team itself, but also for the fan base.
Yep.
It's a great morale boost to see these backup players who probably aren't going to see the field at all in the season get to show what they can do in front of, you know, 90,000 fans.
Yeah, and that was just like their first game down at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, Nebraska versus Cincinnati, such a tight game, but you got to look at it. That's their first time being under lights, man. I mean, they're going to play.
Yeah.
So.
Now, we're going to go ahead and move on from football to volleyball for Nebraska. All right, so Nebraska volleyball, 6-0 so far. So having an impressive season, obviously ranked number 1. They did have a close call with Kentucky a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I was just going to say the most impressive win so far is when they went 2-0 to start the season against Pitt and Stanford. That showed a lot, but what showed the most to me about this team was the reverse sweep against Kentucky.
Yes.
You're technically neutral territory, but it's in Kentucky.
Yep.
You are down 2-0. How are you going to respond?
Yeah.
And that's what we saw from them.
No, and that's fantastic to see for them. Getting back those 2 points and then going to go overtime and then winning that's fantastic to see from a volleyball team.
Yeah, and especially for a team like Nebraska, who's always at the top, always in the national title contender. Obviously, the last couple of years, lost to Penn State last year in the playoffs, got swept by Texas in the national championship. That one still stings. But with a new head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly, former Nebraska player, you've got that kind of switch from John Cook to DBK, and the DBK era is starting off hot.
Yeah, definitely. I do have a little stat here for you. 288 total kills so far. Their opponents have only had 210 on the Huskers. That sounds impressive as heck.
That is very impressive. And I will say, the players are just on fire. You've got
definitely.
Rebecca Alec, who's an absolute blocking machine. She appeared on Matt Rule's podcast, if you guys have checked that out. That's a very entertaining watch. But no, you've got Rebecca Alec, you've got Harper Murray, All-American. You've got just so many players who are, upperclassmen, but you've also got the depth that Nebraska has.
Oh, definitely.
With those freshmen who, they don't see the court all that much, but when they do come on, they already look like they've been there.
Oh, yeah.
So just seeing this team already off to a hot start, especially against adversity against Kentucky with the reverse sweep, this team could have big things to come.
Oh, and I could definitely see them making it back to the championship if they keep this up. Let's not take it into consideration here. But yeah, they could definitely go back, and we'll see. We'll have to see who they go up against. But Kentucky did look pretty good though.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that goes. All right. So looks like we're gonna be ending here. Anything else you guys want to add on before we get off?
I think the only thing that I will add is the Huskers. Another easy competition against Houston Christian coming up this weekend.
Yep.
But the thing that I'm going to be looking forward
Is Michigan? Oh, definitely.
Yes, we've had the Cincinnati game. We've had this game.
Got beat.
They did.
Yes, but that doesn't mean we could still beat it. Come on.
No, I'm not saying that, but I also watched you guys go toe-to-toe with Ohio State last year.
Yeah.
And looked really good for most of that game.
That is
so
very true.
I'm just saying, it's the same thing as Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Once Dylan Raiola goes up against one of them top 5 defenses and puts up stats like he's put up, not so much in the Cincinnati game, but this last game, even comparable, then I'm on your train. But
yeah.
Again, when you're looking at Cincinnati, Akron, Texas Christian,
Houston Christian.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, that's exactly my point. Is how we play against Michigan will be the entire storyline of how we continue the season.
For sure.
If it's close, then we'll see where it goes.
Right.
And that concludes our this week's Monday Night Quarterback. Don't forget to check out our podcast on YouTube called Monday Night Quarterback Podcast. But until then, I'm Anthony Gianelli.
I'm
Xander
Monson.
Monson. Josh Minnehan.
We'll see you tonight. Good night.